All right. It just went on air.
Yay.
Hey, witches. Welcome back to our live stream series. It's the Wild
Hey,
Witch here, and I'll let you introduce yourself, my friend.
it is NightshadeMoon here, everybody.
Let's see. I'm trying to get it pulled up on my phone.
I know, I got the tablet.
Oh, yay. So, my ring just got caught in my dread. That's so great.
Too.
So you can read comments too.
Yes. Finally.
I'm so excited. So excited. So, you want to wait a few minutes to let people get in?
Surely. I'm going to start with the sage.
Yeah, I'm Palo Santos and still. Like, I am loving how, like, purple blue this Palo Santos stick is.
That's wild.
Becky Ashley just said, hey, y'all. Or, no, she said, hi, y'all. Hey, Becky girl.
Pagan Mail, sup, ladies?
What's up?
What up, Pagan Mail?
Honey boo boo.
That's your man.
Yep.
Anybody need some cleansing?
Yeah, you got Red Sage and Palo Santos coming at you. Hey, Shelly 33. I know. I'm messing all up tonight. 333.
Right?
It's going to be one of them nights. I do believe. All right.
Woo woo.
I'm straining my tea real quick.
There you go.
And it's hot. I swear it's not me peeing.
We're live. Love you.
He was about to come in there, wasn't he?
Uh-huh. And as soon as I said we're live, he was like, right after.
You dipped.
Yep,
that's funny.
Real quick.
That is so funny. Okay.
He's always got to come in here and mess with us.
I know. He loves to do that. I mean, it's almost like not a conversation if he don't come mess with us.
I know, but he was too late before we went live.
Yep, he waited too long.
Yep.
Too long. Let me show y'all this real quick. So I had to go to the store and get some extra like containers and stuff the other day.
Okay.
While I was in there, I found this bottle, and I know I'm a freaking nerd, but I'm sure all of you witches do the same thing as me. Like, I'm obsessed with bottles and little containers. Look at this little bottle. Hold on.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yes, and you can hang
it. Hang it closer just a little bit. Oh, cool. Lift it up higher, though, because we're cutting it out. There we go.
Oh, cool. There we go. There we go.
How cute is
Isn't that so cute?
Did you stop
and
it?
It's got a little... Huh?
He's still in here messing with me.
It's got like a little cork in it. Ain't that the cutest?
I love it. It's adorable.
It's a little glass bottle, too. I'm going to do something else around this top because I'm afraid this might, break. But... Yeah. I really don't know what I want to do with it. I don't know if I want to make some kind of oil, or if I want to make it like a little witch's bottle and hang it up. Thank you, Becky. I love this little bottle, too.
I know. It's adorable. I've never seen one like that before, so that's a good find.
I hadn't either with this little top. So, this would be really easy to make. So I was thinking about making some of these and do like witches bottles, and all kinds of things like sacred water and stuff. And then, but do like some little decorations on it, maybe wrap some like jute or something around the top.
Yeah, or crystals hanging off. Yeah, and like you can hang them on the porch or in your window, little protection bottles, something, anything.
Yes. Okay. I got one more thing to show you, and then we're going to get on the topic. I swear. I just have to show y'all this too. So my hubby found me this. This is this skull I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Today. Look at this.
Oh, wow. Yo, that's crazy.
Isn't that the coolest?
That is.
I think it's either a raccoon. I think it's a raccoon.
It looks like it. Yeah. I think
that's what I think.
Too long and it's to be a cat.
Yeah. Once I started looking at this part of it too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I think it's right. Isn't that the coolest?
That is cool.
He cut his stuff up too, digging it out for me. Ain't that the sweetest?
Oh, Shelly says Michael's craft store in Canada has Halloween stuff out already. Oh crap.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like, I want to enjoy my summer, but come on, I love Halloween too. I love it. Samhain, like, you know, I love it, but I love the summer the most. You know what I mean? I'm so weird.
Look at this. Look at this. Okay.
Oh
No,
God.
I love Samhain too. Even as a kid, like it was my absolute favorite
Yes.
holiday, you know, but I love when the seasons transition. So all of them, when it transitioned from spring to summer,
Yeah.
like that in between time is
Mhm.
my perfect time. And to me, like everything is so magical at
Yeah.
that time. Like
The
even my
green
workings and everything seem to be way more powerful.
things are growing, new beginnings, things are coming into
Yeah.
fruition. The greening, when everything goes from that dead winter look to like everything gets this green hue to it, then all of a sudden things are growing. I love it too. I like it too.
Mhm.
Like
And
I've
I love,
definitely embraced like the seasons changing more, but I still love summer the most, and I do love, you know, autumn because I love, you know, everything about the fall and Halloween and stuff too. So I don't know.
yeah, I like them. I like them all, honestly. I even like, and when it starts to turn fall and then winter,
Mhm.
that's when I do my shadow work. Because
Yeah.
to me, when I do shadow work during that time, it feels like
Mhm.
that's the time where you go inward, you know,
Yes,
and where you
exactly.
really dig up all of those skeletons in your closet, or, you know, you try to bring up what you've buried
Yeah.
so you can release it and be
Yep.
done with it. Just like that time
Yeah.
of year, you know, like everything, there's a time for, like you were talking about the greening, when
Yeah.
everything's being birthed, you know, or rebirth, but there's also a time for death, and, you know, or transition and then death. And
Yeah.
I love that too. I mean, shadow work is hard as
Yeah.
crap, you know, it really,
It's
but
hard to let go.
yeah, but I enjoy doing it,
I do too. You
you know,
feel
like
good,
especially after, yeah, you feel cleansed, for
refreshed. I was
a
going to
lack
say
of a
cleanse.
better word.
I was going to
Were
say
you, you're
cleanse.
gonna say cleansed? Okay, that's the only
Yeah.
thing I could think, like the
Refreshed,
feeling.
like refreshed, cleansed,
Yeah.
awakened. Like, I don't know. I will say though, like, you live in the South, so girl, you have no idea. But let me just say right now, I hate winter. I hate it. I hate being cold. The only thing that's good about the snow is it's pretty to look at when you don't have to go anywhere. But I flip and hate it. I hate it. Like, it's a struggle for me. Like, I get depressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have
Yeah.
that seasonal affective disorder where, like, when it gets to like winter, it's just like bummer. There's nothing to do. Can't really go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do get depressed. It's hard, but the
And
snow
see,
is pretty.
I'm so cold natured
Yeah.
too. Like I am so cold natured, but I don't know. There's something. Now I get tired of the winter, even though, like you said, I don't really know winter. You know, like
Yeah.
it, growing up as a kid, I remember it snowing one time my whole entire life, and it was such a
Wow.
small amount. And you would have
Yeah.
thought it had snowed like crazy, you know, how we
Mhm.
acted. But I
Yeah.
remember that one time, and then since I've lived here, it snowed once, and again, it was such a small amount,
Yeah.
you know. So I really don't,
It's
I
like
don't have
snow
that
apocalypse.
experience. But I do love to like bundle up, and I'm talking about wearing 3 or 4 pair of jogging pants, you know,
Right.
and like
Yeah.
really bundling up. And I love to go walk in the dead of winter when everything's dead, and like go out in nature and just listen
It
and
is pretty.
feel. And
Yeah.
it feels like the coldness, it almost feels like it it invigorates my body. It
Yeah.
cleanses it, any
Mhm.
stagnation, you know, stagnant energy. It just
Yeah.
releases all that. I'll even open the windows, you know, at both ends of the
Yeah.
house. And so, you know, air can
Mhm.
circulate through here, because
I
it's
mean,
just something about that
yeah.
cold.
And
Like,
that quiet too of the winter. I feel you on that
mhm.
too. I mean, I still hate it, but like ideal, you
But it
know.
gets cold there where you're at too.
It gets very cold, and like you know, I always hear stories of like y'all in the South where like you get like a couple inches of snow and it's like a snowmageddon, snow apocalypse for you guys. And it's like, you know, we'll get almost a foot of snow and your boss will be like, so you coming into work? Like, yeah, we're still open. Like, you got to work. You got to come out and drive it. And I don't care if you're risking your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't like driving in the snow at all. Even if it's a little bit. Like, if it was flurries or something, that's not a big deal as long as it's not sticking on the road. But if it's, you know, if we're getting hit, like, I don't want to drive anywhere in it. Like, people make me nervous because people drive too close, they go too fast, and I'm like a chicken shit when it comes to driving in the snow. And I've lived, you know, my whole life around here. But
yeah, when I lived in Georgia and it snowed, I would take people, some of the nurses that I worked with after the shift, I would take them home because I loved it. I had a Kia Monte, and so it could be an automatic or you could use a stick shift.
okay.
And so I would, a girl, oh my gosh, I was on those little country roads in Stone Mountain, Georgia, and I would be getting it on them roads in that car, like downshift sliding. I'd see trucks like in the ditch, and girl, it was great though.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But I don't, you know, it was just like a little bit of snow. It wasn't a lot of snow.
Shelly said yes, the snow is nice if you have kids or grandkids. And then Pagan Mail, he said, I feel the same way about the heat that Nightshade Moon feels about cold. I don't know why.
He does.
Say for some people it says message retracted. Does that mean like this person deleted their message? I don't know.
Yeah, they probably typed something and then deleted it real quick.
Oh, okay, that's okay. But we're like way off topic here.
I know, we were just rambling, guys. We were just rambling a little bit. We hadn't talked to each other, you know, like face to face in a few days. So
I know.
We had to get our little fix.
I know. We just get going and that's it.
I know. All right. So this topic, or the topic that we're doing tonight, is on protection, like all about protection. How you can protect yourself, why you should even protect yourself. Should you protect your home, other people that live in your house, like pets, your kids, you know, other family members, and just our take on it, why we feel, you know, how we do about protection and all that good jazz. So do you want to start? Like, why do you feel it's important to protect yourself?
I definitely feel it's important to protect yourself. And my personal opinion is just, you never know what could be drawn to us. Like, you never know what could be drawn to you. You know, when you're open to energies, to using intuition, to doing magic, doing witchcraft, even if you're just not even a witch, you don't practice, but you're open psychically, and or you know, maybe just read cards, you're opening up a door, and like you're a light to those spirits and or entities in the spiritual realm, in the astral plane. You're like a lighthouse, or, you know, and they're drawn to us like moths. And I just feel that it's important to protect ourselves because you never know what's out there. And then even more so with us doing these social media things where, you know, we have a social media presence, whether Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, all the above, you know, Twitter, whatever. You know, you never know who's putting shit your way, in a sense, or who's putting juju on you, the evil eye, whatever. It could be anything. Somebody could be watching our stuff and doing, you know, hexes, trying to curse us and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You never know what could come at you, and it's just better to be safe than sorry, is my feeling.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I feel the same way too about, you know, every bit of that. And I also think too, you know, you might not even realize it, but just say you go in the grocery store and like you got this cute outfit on, like, you know, you look good, and there's, you know, somebody walks by you and they are hating on you, and it's all because you are walking with confidence, like, you know, you're confident in yourself.
Yeah.
And they're hating on you, and they could just, I mean, they could feel so much hate towards you because they're so jealous. Then guess what? That's coming right on you, honey.
Yes.
You know, and you see, you've got to be able to protect yourself. And it might not even be anything like that at all. Maybe you're at the gas station and there's a man, maybe his wife is in the hospital and he's just super sad, and his energy is vibrating so low because he is so just distraught. Well, then guess what? You can pick that up, especially if you're an empath. And almost every witch, it seems like, that I've met is an empath, or even if you're not an empath, if you're working with energy, you're feeling energy, then that energy, it's going to affect you more so than if you did not, if you were not, it's going to affect you a lot more.
Well, sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
That in our energy video, we talked about that too. And then, like, the funny thing that I've been noticing is, like, most of my clients for tarot readings and stuff like that are empathic on some level, like one way, shape, or form, where they have, like, they're empath, but they don't know they are. They never heard of it before. And I'm just like, listen, like, these are what the cards are saying, but, like, you're already feeling this. Like, you already can tell something's happening and feeling some kind of shift in energy. Like, you know what I mean? And you gotta watch out for that and be prepared. And, put those protections in place, that put wards on your home, whatever you want to call it. You got to have that stuff in place because you never know.
Yeah, exactly. I think too, like, you got energy vampires out there. Like we were talking about the evil eye. And that's what, when we were talking about, people's looking at you with all that hate and malice and all, that's the evil eye for anybody, that doesn't know. But you've got things like people that want to break into your home, or people that, are jealous of your car. Maybe they want to key your car, or maybe, they're jealous of what you have. It's, I mean, we live in today's day and age,
people.
And so, you've got to, or you can protect yourself from that. I mean, lightning storms, you can protect yourself from that as well. Just on a daily basis, it's good, in my opinion, to do some kind of protection, on yourself. And definitely if you are a witch, because like Nightshade was saying, you might have hexes sent your way. Like, you don't know, until you really dive into it. You don't know, what people are going to do, which you don't, I mean, people, it's a crazy thing, I mean, it's a crazy world that we live in. And you might have somebody that, I mean, it might be your neighbor, and you think they are just great. And then you start working with energy and you're learning all this stuff. And then you realize, no wonder every time, maybe I go out to check the mail and they're outside, like I come inside and I'm nauseous, or I got a headache, or, you will start to pick up.
It could be family members even. You never know. It could be people that just want to be you in general. Like, they wish they had your life. So, and they hate their own life. So then they gotta, put their thoughts, their ill-intended thoughts, or just bad juju thoughts about you because they're jealous. You know what I mean? Like, they got to put that stuff out there. And then that stuff, that's energy, those thoughts. So they go out there and come right at you. You got to watch what you do and, protect yourself.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think too, like, if you astral travel or head ride or astral project or any of those, I think it's so important.
Even more so, I feel like.
Yes.
You're vulnerable. You're vulnerable.
Or if you work with, if you work with fae, or you work with elemental beings, you've got to protect yourself.
Shelly 333 said that she puts oils and Florida water on me head to toe before I step out because you just don't know. That's a good one. I like that.
That's right, Shelly. I'm the same as you with oils. I wear oils and sprays and crystals and all kinds of stuff. But I'm the same way. I even have some protection things in my dreads. So you never know. You're right. You never.
Oils, I wear my evil eye necklace here that I charge. And like enchant and like cleanse it, bless it, whatever. I have my pentacle ring. I have a moonstone ring that I wear. I have an this is a little black tourmaline ring that I wear. I have star earrings that I enchant almost everything I wear usually, except for like the bar that I have in my upper ear. But you know what I mean, or the ring that's in this upper ear.
Yeah, I do
like
too.
My belly button ring, I don't charge that, but everything else that's like seen on the outside for the most part is charged and enchanted to protect me, and or I'll wear extra things sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Like all my rings, bracelets, necklaces, they're all crystals and amulets or charms. And every single thing is charged and cleansed and put oil on. If the crystal if I can apply oil to it, without it messing up.
Right, without ruining it or whatever. Yeah, some stuff you can't get stuff on like that. Like turquoise can get ruined after a while if you put stuff on it.
The selenite.
Yeah, the selenite definitely. Unless you like have specific pieces that you use for like selenite oil or some kind of selenite moon water or something, whatever the case may be. But other than that, you can't get it wet.
And see, my selenite oil like that I make, I have pieces of selenite that I use specifically to like raw pieces to grind up into powder, and then I put powder and infuse oil, with it. But then every little bottle has little pieces of selenite in it, but I do them raw too, so they can dissolve down in the oil after a while.
Now, do you find
I know, they're going to, but I like that.
Yeah. Now I have a question for that though, because I've never like broken down selenite and used it like that. But do you find that it's kind of like touching fiberglass sometimes?
Well, if it breaks down in little shards, like when you first start to break it down, but once it gets into powder, it's so soft.
Okay, well that's cool. Like I was wondering if it would like cut up your fingers and stuff,
Yeah, and even when it's in shards though, it won't cut your fingers. It's still too soft to cut your fingers, but it's still as sharp, like little pieces, just like how blue kyanite, we do, our black kyanite, how like they little shards. Yeah, it's like that pretty much. But it's really, really easy to crush. Now I had the hardest time crushing it whenever I first decided, I wanted to start making a selenite oil. Like it was so hard, but
I bet. And then you
I just
like
talked to it. Best. Yeah, I just talked and like said what I wanted it for, and all this kind of stuff, and it was cool. So let me ask you this. Okay, so say that you protect yourself every day. You do some kind of protection, to yourself physically. Do you think it's important to protect your home, or say that there's other people in your house, like your significant other or, your child, so they don't practice witchcraft? Do you think it's important to protect them and even the pets that are in your home? So maybe they're not familiars, they're just your family, like pet. Do you think it's important to protect that as well?
Yes, absolutely. I have a ritual type of working that I try to do once a week. Sometimes it goes longer just because I'm not feeling that I really need to do it. So it kind of works out certain times of the year. It winds up being like once a month that I'll do like this banishing and protection ritual, where it's almost like, for me, it's almost like I'm envisioning when like Harry Potter does the Patronus charm and like the big white light comes out of his wand and like all the Dementors and all that stuff, like just scatter because of the light. Like that's kind of what I envision when I do my ritual. And it's kind of like a bubbling as above and so below the entire property, house included, in the ground under our property, everything like that. And then, oh, I hear the doggy.
That's Tiger.
Also, I love Tiger. So also I have like protection blends that I'll mix up with like sand or dirt, graveyard dirt, herbs and stuff, crystals, and then I'll go and sprinkle that around my whole property. I put protection like sachet bags in our vehicles that I like recharge, and then Some of them, like, well, I used to recharge them like every month, like myself, but then it got to a point where the full moon light is charging in the car, like it goes into the cars at night. So my other thought was like adding the intention in there that every full moon, as the light shines into the car, it'll recharge, you know, these protection sachet bags. So we have those as well. And I always put like, I guess, like protective bubbles on, you know, my boyfriend and our son, the cat. You know, I would protect the dog. The cat, like, I would enchant the bell that he wore on his collar. Now he can't wear collars now because he always winds up getting them stuck in his mouth, and that was a fiasco on Thanksgiving this past one. So we could talk about that a whole another thing. But I used to keep like a bell charm on the dog's collar as well that would protect her, you know. And then once it would like wear out and fall off, then I would know to, you know, redo another bell and recharge it with a spell and then put that new one on and stuff. So just little things. And like balls.
Yeah, I did this. I do a lot of the same things too, like witch balls. I've got witch jars.
Yes. Yep.
I've got these little Mojo bags that I made. They're at my front and back door that I made out of corn husk.
Okay.
And they're super cool. And so every year I only change these once a year. So every year at the same time, which is normally in fall.
Yeah.
I remake them, but before I make new ones, I take the ones down and I burn them in the fire that, you know, I have going.
Yeah.
And then I make new ones, and that's normally when I make like my corn dollies too. So I make them the same time, and they're really cool and they're so cute too.
Yeah,
like I
think
they're
cute.
So cute.
They are so cute.
Let's see. I do that for the house. And then, I do this kind of the same thing like Nightshade, where she does some form of protection on a weekly basis. So I do the same thing. I make a protection carpet powder that I put on the floor.
Wait, can I interrupt you real fast? Because that protection carpet powder is the shit. Like, y'all need to go to your website and buy this stuff. Like, you will use the entire jar once, cleaning your whole house and putting it on your carpet everywhere. Like, yo, I love that shit. Anyway, go ahead, proceed.
Yeah, so I do. No, you're fine, girl. I make a herbal floor wash that I make my own like mop solution. So I do this herbal mix with it, this herbal floor wash that I make to go along with it. So whenever I mop, I can put protection down. And then I do like a bubble around the house with energy, and I always do that on a weekly basis as well. Then I normally like smudge the house, and I make protection incense.
Yep.
And I light some in each room. And then at the house, now I don't dig these up, but I have crystals buried in the four corners of the house outside.
Okay.
And I like how you were saying about the car where you let the moon's energy, like you program that, you know, so they charge up. It's kind of like the same thing that I do where I know that every full moon it's going to charge those up again, you know.
I like that. That's cool.
So, and I leave those buried, and then I do this fire. Well, it's not fire. It's called firewall of protection powder that I make. Now I only use that out like when I feel it's necessary. That's not something that I have to do on a daily basis or on a weekly or even monthly. It's just when I know that something's going on, or maybe like I have felt maybe if my wards are trying to be broken that's around the house that I put up for protection, and I feel that something is trying to break through, then I can use that powder because it's really strong. Or if I know somebody has sent something my way, you know, then I use it because it's very strong.
Right.
But yeah, that's that's pretty much what I do. I also use, you know, I'm obsessed with making magic oil. So I put those, like I do pentagrams on the mirrors, and then I have like a sigil that I made. I put those on the mirrors for protection as well. And I always use my spell wax melties. for protection, or I make like protection blends for the diffuser, and then Mojo Bags are in every nook and
I love doing that. I forgot about that too with my diffuser, because I have one in our bedroom, but I don't, it has those little like felt like little insert things that you put the oils on, and like you don't get very many with them, so I try not to use it like upstairs very much, unless like I need to put like a breathe easy type of blend in it or something, if like we're sick or something. But I totally forgot, like I've done that many times with my diffuser, even like when I'm getting ready to have people over, and of course you want the house to smell nice, but then you also can put those magical intentions in there and just let that go out into the air when people are coming over. And you totally reminded me that I forgot to even mention that I do the same thing with the oils in the floor wash. I have like one of those mops that whatchamacallit, that you like put your own cleaner stuff in it. Well, I put like hot water in it, vinegar in it, a little bit of bleach, and then essential oils that I've enchanted to, spiritually and physically cleanse the floors when I mop as well. And then you said mirrors, and I'm like, holy shit, how did I forget that I have little mirrors? Now I got this, like I know mirrors are good if you want to like put someone's picture under one so they can only see themselves kind of thing. But then I know like Sunshine, Morning Ray, and Ravenflower, and I know Lady Gravedancer have talked about the mirrors in the windows before, but I actually did the same thing, and this was back like 4 years ago when we were living in the apartment, like right as I was getting ready to have my son. I put mirrors in every window facing outward, so that way things, entities or anything negative would come and like get stuck looking at themselves in the mirror, because they're so freaking vain, and it just blocks them from coming in. So I have them in the house too, in every window, to like bounce things back.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Mirrors, it like, think of it as ricocheting, so if anybody's sending you something it can hit that mirror, and bounce back to them, whatever they sent you, and you can even do it to where whatever they sent you, you can make it go back to them, double what they sent you, if that's what you want to do. You can even hang, or you can do like salt and put it in your window, like in your windowsill. If you have any kind of entities that, maybe are coming through that you did not invite, or maybe you were trying to, like work with some spirits and something else came through or something, then you can put some salt, in your windows, and for protection. And you can get you can do this thing. I really don't know what it's called. I don't even know if it has a name. I call it ocean water. I don't know. It came to me one day, and it's this. I did food coloring and oil. It looks like the ocean, really, but I put a whole bunch of mica in it, and so you shake it up. And the mica's like swirling all around in it, and you put oil and water and like food coloring, so it looks like the ocean, and it moves all different ways. Yeah, and I use that as like an entrapment too. If something's trying to come in this house that's not allowed, then guess what? They're gonna go to that because of they're gonna be drawn to that because of the mica, all the shimmering, and they're gonna get stuck in. And then the top of it, instead of putting a lid on the top, I put candles on the top, and I burn the candle, and then to get rid of whatever gets trapped inside, that the candle disperses it.
Next time you go to make another one of those, you should definitely do a video about that, because that's really cool. I didn't know you did that. I really like that. Like, I would definitely do one of those, because I just think it sounds
Remind me, I'll show it to you.
Ocean.
Yeah, I'll show it to you when we get through this. It's cool.
You know what? You know what else too? Like, I would love to talk about, because we touched on why we think it's important to protect ourselves and our property and belongings, family members and stuff. I would like to mention like what happens when you don't protect yourself. You could get sick, bad things happen. Like you could get
possession.
And now I can't say that a streak of bad luck is what I want to say, where just things keep not going your way. And not every time is that someone putting anything on you or any kind of curse on you or anything. It's not like that every time. Like usually when someone puts something on you or sends bad intentions your way, you feel it. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can just feel it, intuition, that someone's sending something to me, like, let me send it back, do your working or whatever. But, you can get really sick and, like, really have, like, a shitty time, if people are sending stuff your way and you're not protecting yourself against these things. Just to err on the side of caution, it's always better to be safe than sorry and protect yourself, your property, belongings, and your family members, no matter what. Even if you don't think anyone's sending you anything, or no one's sending you anything, still do it, because you never know.
People because more than likely, unless you're just doing some kind of shady shit, more than likely some other witch is not just going to come after you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, most of the time, like I said, unless you're just really, shady,
an asshole, or
then you're not going to have people gunning for you, all the time. But
unless you're putting all that out there, if you're just gunning for people just because you can, like, then of course you can expect, things are going to happen to you. And not that I'm saying I believe in the threefold law, but sometimes I feel that does apply. And I know not everyone believes in that, and it's more like a Wiccan thing, but depending on what's going on, I do feel that does apply,
Well, I think too, like, especially when you first, start, like you were saying, a string of bad luck comes along, things are happening. And then you start thinking, oh my gosh, somebody has cursed me.
Right.
And then you get so caught up in that and in your mind, because like we've talked about before, your mind is so powerful.
Yes.
And you get caught up in that to where you start projecting those thoughts that you're thinking, and these things start happening. No one's really doing that to you.
Right.
You're doing it to yourself.
On yourself.
Yeah. And that's where, if you're not, like, careful in some situations, that's where poltergeist, you can create your own poltergeist. But, like we're saying, it's better to protect yourself, because you are manipulating energy. Therefore, things are attracted to you. Whether whether you say you don't want to work with spirits, say spirit, that's not your thing. You don't want to work with spirits. You've never been interested in spirits. That's perfectly fine. You don't have to work with spirits at all. But, honey child, let me tell you, you glowing. Like, you got that glow.
You got the light.
Yeah, they're going to be attracted to you.
Yep.
You've got to know how to protect yourself if you don't, want them coming in. Because think about it. If you were a spirit and you seen, like, it was just darkness everywhere you looked, it's just darkness, and all of a sudden you see this bright, ball of energy, this bright glow, what are you gonna do? You're going to go straight to that ball that's glowing.
Yep.
And you're going to try to be all comfy with it, because you want that light on you. I know I would. So, it is what it is. And most of the time, a lot of times these spirits aren't trying to harm you. They're trying to get your attention. It's like, hey, oh my gosh, somebody can see me now. Somebody can feel me.
Yeah. Yeah. They're like in your ear, like behind you. They're like this on either sides of your head. And they're like, hey, listen to me. Hey, you can hear me. You can feel me. Hey, you can see me. Can you talk to me? Can you talk to me? I need your help. Can you, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Or they're like saying my name. They're like, Ashley. Hey, Ashley. Hey, pay attention to me. And I'm like, dude, for real? Like, this is the house I grew up in. So it was very, and I'm saying very, haunted my entire life. And we can go into a whole story about that, but when my parents moved out and my brother was here by himself, then he moved out, and then we moved in, my boyfriend and my son and I moved in, everything was gone. Now, let me just say that my parents' new house, there's nothing there. They're not haunted. My brother's house isn't haunted because he moved into a house with his wife and their son, blah, blah, blah. There's nothing here. Like, my best friend was scared to death of this house. And, you know, she wouldn't even come into the front door. Like, and then it took her years to even come into the front door, and she would only come into the living room. She wouldn't go in my kitchen. She wouldn't go upstairs. She didn't like looking at my stairs going upstairs because they're right in the living room, like behind our couch. And like, you know, you'd be looking outside at my house. You'd feel like there's eyes looking out the windows at you. Like, I used to stand at the kitchen sink doing dishes, and I'd hear, Ashley, turn around, look down the basement steps, which was right behind me, and there's nothing there. It freaked me out because you're like, why the hell do you want my attention so bad? What is the problem? You know, and it wasn't like negative spirits that I felt, but it was just like eyes on you constantly. And I think that I've done enough workings to like, whoosh, you know what I'm saying? Like disperse, like, listen, y'all don't need to be here. You're staring at me, making me uncomfortable, bothering me when you're just here and you just want my attention because you know I can feel you here or see you. You know what I mean? So there is absolutely nothing here now. Once in a while we'll feel something from the woods, but it's always like a passing through type of like what do they call that? Like a psychic imprint that something leaves that's like a replay or it's not actually the spirit there. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those types of deals. So thankfully that's anything to worry about. But like, dude, like this house was crazy before. Like you'd hear footsteps in the middle of the night, talking when you're like laying in bed trying to go to sleep, and you know everyone's voices in your house. I didn't recognize these voices talking to each other, you know, or hearing, you know, everyone's footsteps on your steps, and my steps are noisy, and you know, you'd hear footsteps that don't belong to anybody, and they're not the dog. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Shelly just asked, were there spirits there before your family moved in?
I think so, because we heard rumors. My dad bought this house in like the early 70s, I want to say, or late 60s. This house was built in 1924, and we heard rumors about the lady. I hope you're still there, girl, because I don't see you. I just see your like.
Me?
Yeah, okay, you are there. All I see is your profile picture from your YouTube channel. I don't like see you live.
You don't see me now?
I hear you though.
Well, what the hell?
It like cuts you out. But so we heard rumors about the lady that lived here before my dad bought the house. The whole one wall in the living room was all mirrors. It's the wall where my fireplace is now that my dad had his friend like build and put in the wall for us. This is before I was born and all, so. But you know, my dad's friend did that for him. But the whole one wall in the living room is mirrors. Above the kitchen sink, there's a mirror. Down in the basement by the utility sink, there used to be a stove there because she was an old Italian woman, so she'd be down there, you know, making her gravy and stuff on the stove and like simmering it all day and not like taking up space on the upstairs stove. So there was a mirror there. There's a big mirror hanging in like the main room in our basement. Like she had mirrors everywhere, and the rumor we always heard from people was because she always needed to see behind her. So there was definitely to answer your question, Shelly, that yeah, I really think there were spirits here before, you know, my family moved in, and sometimes they would really bug the hell out of you. Like, I mean, I didn't like the dark like my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like because you see more in the dark. Things in your third eye even come at you more when it's dark and your mind quiets down, and it's just, you know. So, but there's nothing really here now. If I feel anything, it's usually a spirit guide or a family member or somebody who's passed on visiting. Like they kind of just pop in and out. Nothing really. I haven't felt anything else, thank God. Because sometimes they would just, dude, they'd be staring at you so hard that you feel like they're right in your face. Even though you don't physically see them right in your face, you know they're right there looking at you like, hello. And you're just like, get out of my face. It's wild.
Well, let's see. Shelly says mirrors are portal. I think this is supposed to be portals.
Yeah.
Portals if opened up to the other realms. Yes, you're exactly right. That's our last chat. Nightshade and I were talking about how sometimes when we walk by the mirrors, like we don't look at, like you don't look in because you feel, you know, that it's not the time to look in right now because you see, like you said, it's a portal. And you know, there are, well, I believe that there are parallel universes.
Yeah.
You know, and I believe that fairy is parallel to our universe. I think that the veil is the only thing that separates fairy. So, you know, there might be in my bathroom, that might be a village, you know, right there in fairy on that parallel universe. So yeah, that we were talking about that on our last one about how, you know, the mirror thing is sometimes you don't look in it.
Well, that's like the mirrors. When I put my personal belief is it's just a feeling I have with the little mirrors that I put facing outward in all my windows and stuff. I will not ever look into them ever, because I feel like if I look at myself in that mirror, then whatever entity or negative thing or whatever the case may be that's stuck in that mirror looking at themselves is going to come like into me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though I keep myself protected and all, but it's just a weird little, I don't know, maybe it's a phobia. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something I won't do. Like, I don't mind mirrors. Like, I have a couple behind my altar over here and stuff. I have one over here near my ancestor altar, but those are like scrying purposes type of mirrors, or like, you know, sometimes you'll stare, or you can use a mirror for like meditating just to relax and calm your mind, and you just stare at yourself and stuff. Like, I'll use them for that, and they're like protected because I've put workings on them. You know what I'm saying? That way nothing else can come through that mirror, or those mirrors, I should say. But yeah, mirrors can be freaky. I mean, even growing up, like, you wouldn't catch me walking around this house in the dark. I would not go in the bathroom and look in the mirror ever in that bathroom. You know what I mean? Like, you'd be in the shower and the curtains closed and you just feel like somebody's in there with you, like, just. And there was always night lights or some kind of light somewhere. My dad was like that too, even though he swears he doesn't believe in any of this shit. You know, like, he was freaked out by shit too. It's wild.
Well, you know, I remember the very first like protection jar that I made, I wanted to put mirrors in it, but I didn't have any little mirrors. So I found an old CD that was scratched up, you know, it didn't play anymore. And I broke it up into little pieces and then used it like mirrors.
Yeah. Well, that's
I didn't have nothing else. And it reflected too, you know.
Yeah.
Like
it works.
Mirror wood.
That was like, I've used broken mirrors, like little mirrors that I've broken up or whatever, and put into different protection bottles that I have, like a bunch of different ones sitting on my mantle, that I, from time to time, when I feel that I need to, take them out and let the moon recharge them and stuff. And I won't look at any reflection in those mirrors either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just, I don't know, it's weird. But you got to protect yourself, you know, because you never know. You could get mirrors, anything. Like, and there's people that are really freaked out by mirrors to the point where, like, what is that custom where when someone passes away, like, the mirrors in the house get covered? Like, I don't know all the details about why that's done or why they believe these people believe to do that.
Spirits can get trapped.
Right.
Something
kind of creepy
like that.
when you think about
I know
it.
there's another one. Do what?
That's creepy when you think about it. I mean,
yeah, there's another custom too where they open a window so the spirits can fly out. If a person dies in the house, like open the window so the spirit can fly out. So I know that we talked about like making, you know, floor wash and carpet powder and charms and sigils, you know, all of this stuff to protect yourself. But I wanted to mention too that, you know, you can use all of those ingredients like crystals, herbs, you know, whatever it is, Mojo Bags, anything that you find protective, you can use. But you don't have to use anything at all either if you don't want to. You can simply make a white light shield, or you know, or that's, you can use, you can for me, I do this thing called a triple purple egg. And
I heard you talk about that.
And it's because I associate purple with protection and magic and all things like I associate so many things with purple. So I do these 3 eggs, and each egg, it like the closer they are to my body, they're smaller. So there's like a real small one, and it goes right around me, and then one that's a little bit bigger, and then one that goes way out. It goes like above the ceiling.
Yeah.
And each one is a different color, and each one is like stronger. So the biggest one though is not as strong as the one that's closest to me, but it's like different
Right.
levels of protection. And you do that with your mind and energy, so
Right.
you don't have to use any tool at all. And like you
Yeah.
can use any ingredient too that you find protective. Like
Mm-hmm.
um, I love nettle and rosemary and basil and Himalayan salt. And I love to use any of my sage bundles.
Mm-hmm.
I save the tips of the sticks, or
Mm-hmm.
any pieces of the sticks, and I save all of those. I put, I use that.
Yep.
Um, the ashes, like I keep all of
Yes.
ashes from
Same here,
smudging.
dude.
Yeah, and I keep all of it, and I
Mm-hmm.
use it. I make a protection powder where I put ashes in it, and I use red brick, where I crush and grind up a brick, and I use eggshells,
Yep.
and all kind of ingredients. But it's you use whatever you associate, and like how I
Yep.
was talking about my purple eggs, you can use whatever color you
Yeah.
feel protective. Like how my egg is purple, but the outside edge of my egg is lined in black, because those purple and black are like
Yeah.
very protective to me. Blue
Yeah.
is very healing, to
Yeah.
me. So you can even wear clothes of that color, or say that you've got something going on with your aura. You've got a damaged aura, or you've got a chakra, like we were talking about, last week when we went over chakras a little bit. So you've got
Yeah.
a chakra that is unbalanced, or a chakra that you need to work on. You need to
Mm-hmm.
protect that chakra while it's not functioning at 100%. So you can wear clothes, that are protective. You can
Yes.
eat food, that you find protective. Or if you just,
Right.
maybe you don't want to think about what food you find protective, but what about your seasonings that you
Right.
use?
Right. You can enchant your
Your
herbs and stuff
spices.
that you cook with. Yep.
Yeah, that's every night. I don't care what I'm cooking for my family. That's one of the things that I do, because even my husband and my son, they both dabble in magic, some, not
Right.
much, but they do some. But I do. And I work with a lot of stuff, and I go a lot of
Yeah.
places, and so they have got to be protected. So every night that I cook, every single time I cook, they get spices in their food for protection. Every single
Mm-hmm.
night they
I
get
do the
it.
same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but I feel like I need to burn this again. Just
Okay,
saying.
girl, burn away.
I'm feeling eyeballs behind me. You know what I'm saying? But again, and that, like, I find that funny too, because talking about talking about spirits, talking about protection, talking about ghosts, or any kind of spiritual things happening, or any kind of presences or whatever, then things your light shines a little brighter. I feel like when you start talking about that stuff, because your third eye, whether you're wanting it to or not, is opening, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's like things are drawn to you then. So like right now, I mean, I don't feel at this moment because I lit the sage, but for a little bit there, I was starting to feel real hot and like feeling eyes behind me. Not that there was any kind of bad intention, but I just like, listen, leave me alone.
Yeah. Well, listen.
Like, stop looking at me.
I was gonna say. I don't remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something. I'll read this real quick. Let's see. Sherry Bug said, "Hey, Nightshade and Wild Witch, I really enjoy your topics of conversation." Sherry Bug, thank you. We enjoy you
Yes.
being here with us always. You always support, and we thank you so much.
Yes, we appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
Kitchen
Yes,
witching. Yes.
yeah. I
Kitchen
love like
witching.
I love to use herbs and spices and make, I have some, which I need to make some more. I've got this protection blend that I make to go on your food, and it tastes great too.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, and it's just a blend. You go ahead and make it up, and like you can keep it in your cabinet, and you're good to go.
You
So
should do
that
a video about that too, girl.
I have to look and see. I thought. that I did one. I'll look at like one of my first videos.
Okay.
But it might have been in my newsletter because I gave some recipe, I give recipes in the newsletter all the time. So I'll check and see. And if I didn't do a video, I'll do it. Because it's a really good blend. Like I like to use it. It works great for me. And like I said, it's seasonings, but it's also protection. And
That's cool.
that's wonderful. Yeah, and I remember what I was going to say. So when we were talking about, like protecting yourself and
Yeah.
we said something about, oh, I know what it was, when you were talking about, whenever you're talking about these type
Yeah.
of topics,
Yeah.
how your energy, gets brighter and all. And I feel that's so true too, because I feel like too, if you're vibrating at a really high frequency, then your energy is like expanded,
Yeah.
it's out there. But you're gonna attract to, like, if you're vibrating at a really high frequency, you're gonna attract that, especially like in your daily life, your personal life, you're gonna attract those kind of people around you. But if you are vibrating at a very, very, very low frequency,
Right.
then you're going to,
Yeah.
that's what kind of company you're going to keep. And I feel like
Yes.
when you're vibrating, like if you're vibrating really, really low and you're doing some spell work, just say for, maybe you're doing a spell work for, maybe you want to do it for love, but you're vibrating really, really, really low. Then I feel like that's when things like, okay, you're doing love, but you're vibrating at such a low frequency, and love is more it's a high frequency, but you're at such a low frequency and things are drawn to you.
Yes.
And and it's, you've got these low frequency entities that are even these spirits
Yeah.
that are at really low frequencies, and they can do harm,
Yep.
to
Get
you, even though you're
vulnerable.
not calling, out to them,
Right.
even though you're doing this love spell. But just, I don't know, maybe say this guy, or this girl cheated on you, and, you thought this was the love of your life. And, you're just like, well, I've got to be with this person no matter what. I can't see myself with anybody else. I love this person.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to do this spell on this person, and I'm gonna do a love spell so our love will stay. Nothing can
Yeah.
stand in our way. He won't want anybody else. But you're
Good
so
Lord.
heartbroken because he cheated on you, and so you're constantly thinking of that the whole time you're doing this work, and your vibration is just getting lower and lower. And that's when things can come through. That's when things can attach to you.
Yeah. Definitely. I
Let's see. Sharebug said, "How does one get your newsletter?" Okay, Sharebug, you can go to my shop, my online shop. It's earthrangetrading.com, and I'll put the website when we get through with this live stream. I'll put it there. But you can go there, and there's a little place where you can subscribe to the newsletter, and once you subscribe, you just enter your email address. And once you subscribe to it, then you can read all the newsletters that I've done. And up until recently, I was doing one newsletter a month. But because I've also got a YouTube channel for the shop, I just don't record on there that much because I don't have enough time. So I've decided to shorten the newsletters to only 6 a year, like definitely 6 a year. And then if there's different things going on, that I need to share with you guys, then I can, add more then. But I want to start incorporating some of those, the things that I go over in the newsletter, and just, recipes and stuff like that. And like the products that I sell. Just like how to use them and the reason I use these ingredients and this and that, just stuff like that. Because I really enjoy doing videos. So
your newsletter's great too. I let her know in the comments as well to go to www blah blah blah.
Oh, thanks, girl.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I love doing the newsletters.
I had to get up for a second because I was feeling them eyes again in this window over here. So I had to go. I mean, the sage is still kind of burning a little bit, on its own right now in the shell, but yeah, I had to get up. Go ahead, Pagan Mail, post the link. I had to get up and like put some spray on that window or something. Just like listen. Like I know you see me in here and I feel your energy and you know that I can feel you looking at me and stuff, but like back off. You know?
Yeah, I was just looking at your window while you were talking that area. Seeing what the
I don't feel anything bad. It's just like nuisance, you know?
Yeah. Yes, you're right, Shelly. You can make protection sachets for yourself as you sleep. You are correct. I love doing that with sleep pillows. And just I do mine like in a little pouch so you can change the ingredients out, and I do them like for protection, astral travel, you name it. And that's great to do like for your kids, you know, if you have children, protection like that. Another thing I love to do for my son is this protection powder that I make. I put it above the doors. And so like going in his bedroom and out of his bedroom, the door frame, you know, it's like just a little ledge there, like a little tiny ledge. But I put it on the top of those, and then I put it in the windowsill, and I can't put it on the bed. Under the bed because he has a little dog. But his bed, he has a bunk bed. So I take little sachet bags and tie on the bunk bed, you know, for protection. And then he has a little sleep pillow. And then like he's really scared of bad weather. And so I've tied some bark that like protects you. It's like this bark repels lightning. Or lightning striking, you know, you. And so I have it hung up with, you know, red thread like on his lamps and stuff in there. So, but yeah, I think it's good to have many different ways to protect yourself, you know, many.
It's gone.
Yep, many different ways.
Sherry Bug D says, I'm interested in learning about astral travel, but don't you have to be really careful and have protection for that? That we can do a whole video on that. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
To do.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I mean it can be dangerous. Yeah, but that's why you have to, like Shelly said, you have to have your guides with you when you go on the astral plane. Like your guides have got to be there. You've got to be able to protect yourself. You know, most definitely. And I would suggest like the first time, you know, like if you're not really experienced and you're wanting to astral travel or even head drive, like for the first time, I would suggest having somebody there with you to watch over you, just to be on the safe side for your very first time.
Yeah.
I've read many of things where they say nothing can happen to you on the astral plane. Like you're protected. Nothing can happen to you, but it can, you know, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, but
you never know. You just got to be prepared.
It can. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's up, yo? You want to be on our video?
Have you seen my watch?
Yeah, I had it. I stole it in the living room.
Was that the man?
Yeah, I stole his phone charger. But he's got like this 10-foot phone charger.
It's the best. That's the best one. It's, you know.
Yeah, and I don't have one, and I could work on my hair today while my phone was charged, and I needed my phone.
Yeah.
So it's great.
I feel like whatever was happening over here is gone. So
that's good. That's great.
They got the memo. Like, listen, I'm not trying to deal with you right now. Like, no. Stop trying to annoy me.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't. It's funny too because that's happened before in here. Like, me and my best friend would be hanging out in here doing card readings and shit, and like, she'd be like, "Dude," and I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Your wind is bothering me." And sometimes I don't. Like, I know it's there, but it's not bothering me. But for whatever reason, whatever was there, like, whoever's there is looking at her, like, wanting her attention, I guess. So I'd have to, like, you know, sage and do some shit. So that way they'll be like, listen, go away, you know, like, come on, back up.
Yeah.
And not saying that, like, sage will automatically work every single time, or doing some kind of protection spray. But I'm usually in my head, like telling my spirit guides, like, listen, get them out of here, you know, like, and my spirit guides are already like programmed or pre-trained, like, you know, I've meditated with them and we're under agreement that like they don't let anything come in and make their presence known without, you know, them being for my greatest good and highest advancement. And like talking about the astral travel thing again, like to keep myself protected, because I don't astral travel on purpose. Like I've never, that's not my thing to really astral travel, but I do it when I don't realize I'm doing it. And
Well,
so
are
they
you
were like,
do you think you're astral traveling or lucid dreaming?
no, it's definitely astral traveling.
Astral traveling.
Yeah. And like how that you get that feeling before when you like wake up that you fell into your bed, like to that's one of my signs, like that I was just astral traveling, like your soul just back into your body real quick and you jump awake, you know, like my spirit guides know, like I guess they can tell when like I'm about to do that, or and I don't realize I'm doing it kind of thing. So then they, you know, they're like on me, you know what I mean, making sure everything's good, because you never know. And I don't do it on purpose. I don't even know I'm doing it until I get that like drop wake up feeling. So it's weird, but that's not like one of my things. Like I can do it, but I've never purposefully like did it. You know what I'm
girl,
saying?
I love doing it.
I know you do. I know you do. You got that.
I love it.
You got
so
that
much.
punch and everything.
I love it. I love meat. Oh man, I love everything about it. Like I love meeting different beings, and like I love it. I love it so much. But it, you know, it can be very scary too, because you have like all these lessons that your guides try to teach you, and you have just, I mean, that your higher self is trying to teach you too. You know, maybe your goddess, or if you work with gods or whatever, you know, are trying to teach you these lessons. And I can remember my first lesson that I needed.
Yeah.
Girl. Oh, it was so scary because my face just got like ripped off. Like my face just ripped off. And you know, it's really scary, you know, but it was like I had to break myself down, you know, and release everything.
Right.
To really, like, I guess, feel whole in as far as this new chapter in my life, you know, into being a witch. That was one of the things. And that's what it was. It, you know, it was like my face was ripped off, you know.
Well, that's like,
it's amazing.
It is. That makes me think like your face was ripped off. That like the first thought that pops into my head was like, you need to not be so concerned with your physical body. You know what I'm saying? Or be vain, or just be concerned with your outer looks. It's your spirit, it's your soul. It's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, my message, like the message that I got from that was because this was the time to, like, when I was so into this, and like I was still so new to it, but all I could think about is like, how can I help people? I want to help people. I want to help people. I want to help people. But I thought, well, but I don't know enough, you know, to help people. And like, what can I do to help these people? Like, I want to start making YouTube videos, and I want to teach people what I do know, and I want to, you know, and it was just all the time. But I would think, but I'm not good enough. You know, I don't know enough. I'm never going to be good enough. And like, I was so self-conscious with my accent. And I'm like, I sound, you know, like a hit. Nobody's going to want to watch my videos, you know, anyway. And that was the thing. Like, I had to quit worrying what people thought of me. That's when my face got ripped off. It was nothing but bare bones, you know? So it was like, it doesn't matter, you know, what people think of you. It doesn't matter. Like, you're afraid of your voice, you know, you're afraid of this, you're afraid that you don't have anything to share, but you have to share it anyway. Like, you have to be confident in yourself and what you know, and share it, you know, and not try to hide because you're afraid that somebody's gonna judge you, you know. And that was the big thing, and it was really cool.
We were meant to.
Girl, I love your videos. Thank you, Sharebug.
Thank you. Yeah, like we have these gifts for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't feel that there's any harm in making money off of your gifts, because some people don't agree with that whatsoever, but that could be a whole nother freaking topic I don't even want to get into. But this is my personal, I don't feel that it's a problem if you have these gifts and, you know, share them with the world, share your experiences, your practices, tips and tricks with whoever. But then also, why not make a little money for yourself for putting all that time and energy out there to share your gifts, like you with the shop, me with the, you know, with the tarot card readings and the spiritual services and stuff, you know.
Yeah. Hey, let me stop you there too. I'm also
Yeah.
going to put Nightshade's tarot business link in the description box below too whenever we get
Oh,
finished with
thank
this,
you.
because she's amazing. You guys, if
Yeah.
you have never had tarot readings and you're interested in having one, or maybe you have had one and you just love them, you need to check her out. She
Thank
is
you.
so good. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
I'll put that in
I
there.
love it.
You're welcome. But I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, you're putting your time and your energy, and what some people don't realize is this takes a really long time. This takes a
Yeah.
lot of energy too,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like, I mean, it would be any other job. Now, if you're doing spell work for people and you're just ripping them off, you know, like you're saying, oh yeah, I'm gonna do the spell for you,
Right.
ain't doing no spell, and you're charging them, well then come on now,
Yeah,
you know.
that's fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Mhm.
And you know, it's people like that that gives, you know, witches like a bad name, you know.
Right.
And not
Because,
necessarily
yeah.
just witches, you know, maybe you're a tarot reader, you're not a witch, you know. Maybe you're an
Yeah.
energy worker, you're not a witch, but that's, you know, that gives people
Yep.
bad names.
Yep.
So
And you don't want
just,
to do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you don't want to do that. But I think, yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing to share your gifts with the world, and to share your talent.
Agreed. We were given these gifts for a reason, to
That's
help
right.
people. And, you know, you may not be that confident in yourself, or, you know, you may still doubt yourself. And, you know, of course, the ego is always going to get in the way of your own growth spiritually. But, you know, you just kind of got to push it aside and keep on trucking.
Yep. Yeah, and separate, because I think the ego too, like the ego really wants to protect you, even though
Yeah.
it's like, you know, the ego
Yeah.
is like, oh, you want to go do this or do that. This is the first time you've ever done it. And the ego's like, oh no, well, you know,
Yeah.
there might be a wolf out there. You want to go walking at night, you know, there might be a wolf out there, or there's this, or there's this.
Right.
And I think it's the ego wants to like keep us safe, but sometimes,
Protect us. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And we have to challenge ourselves
Yeah.
and, you know,
Step
step
out.
out of
Yeah.
that. Yeah, and
Yep.
it is hard, because I can't tell you, man, my hands were sweating, my underarms were sweating. The
Yep.
first time I made a YouTube video, oh girl, I was
Me
so
too.
nervous.
I must have recorded my first video like 10 times and then watched it before I posted it and then said, oh, I sound retarded, or not, no offense to anybody like that, but I sound stupid, or, oh, I don't sound like I know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, you know, at the time, I'm like, shit, I've been practicing witchcraft for over 15 years at the time. I'm like, why can't I just be normal? And it takes time getting used to, and you got to like step out of your comfort zone, you know?
Mhm.
It takes time.
Yeah. But I think that's the beautiful thing about life too, is, you know, coming out of your comfort zone. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay to be afraid, you
Yeah.
know. It's perfectly normal to be afraid, but it's when we are afraid and we still do something about it, you know, when we
Yeah.
still do it anyway.
Who you got in your room?
I don't have
Oh,
nobody.
to your left. To your left, something just went like, whoosh, like towards the side of the camera. I don't know. Nothing bad, but it was just like a. Whoosh.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I don't even feel anything.
Yeah, maybe they just went passed through real quick. Something that kind of just went.
Well, you know what? There's this old lady that comes through.
Yeah,
It's like she just passes through though. So
yeah, that
I'm
might have
never
been it.
like, I don't care. You can use my house to pass through if you need to. That's
Right.
okay.
Yeah, it
And
was
then
just like
I
a
have this.
thing just went whoosh, right past on your
Now
left side.
it could be. Was it an orb? Could you tell?
I don't know if it was an orb or like a shape. like of a body, like a person's shape, but it just kind of came like from your altar and just like up past the camera kind of thing, you know, like right, yeah, like over there somewhere. It just went whoop.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but there I have orbs in the stream like crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I think I don't know. I feel like one of your guides, though, you know what I'm saying, was kind of like, "Hey, look at me." Like that's what I'm feeling. I don't know. It was weird. She's all looking around now, like.
No, I'm talking. Hold on a second. It wasn't my guide unless my main one, you know, my main one, because he don't, like, I can't even say his name. He don't want nobody.
Right.
But yeah, that's I wonder why I haven't felt anything. I didn't feel anything.
I don't know. Whatever it was seemed like oh shit, and just went by like like get out.
I'll have to replay it and see if I see it go by.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me though, not in here. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
All right, so
it was nothing bad.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that because I don't feel anything like negative in here or nothing. I cleansed, you know, before we started anyway. Now there could be like, you know, positive spirits. Hell, it could be a fairy. Oh, it could be a little person. Sorry.
Yeah, and whatever it was just like oh shit, I don't want them to see me, like, you know, like it's possible. At least we don't have any candles exploding this week.
I know, but you know what? I'm glad we said because I've not put out any honey today, and
maybe that's what was going on. They were checking for the honey and it wasn't there, so they're like, "Oh shit, she's on camera."
Maybe so, because I hadn't put out any today, and
that could be it. You never know, but it wasn't anything bad. Just a quick little whoop.
Y'all can be on
watching. See that?
Why don't y'all make y'all's presence known and show yourself so everybody on here can see you guys?
Right? Don't be scared.
That's right. I'm sure you're amazing, whoever you may be. Just
Sherry Bug has a question. She said, "Do either of you work with elementals?"
As I do a little bit. I work with more of like air elementals, like sylphs and stuff like that. I work with tree spirits, like the land spirits. I work with but that's pretty much.
I work with water mostly. I've worked with all of them here and there, but mostly with water because I'm a water sign and it's just water's like home to me. Being a crab and all.
Mm-hmm.
But mostly water. I mean, not all the time. But when I feel like I want to, like it just the mood strikes me and I'm like, oh, you know, I'll do a little something with this, or you know, nothing like not like on the regular or anything like that.
Now, Sherry Bug, are you talking about elemental beings?
Right.
Is that what you're talking about? Huh?
Or the elements themselves.
Yeah, I don't know if she's talking about, because she said elemental, so I'm figuring that you're meaning like elemental beings.
Right. Waiting for a response.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, I need to put some more. Yeah. So elemental beings.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I have, but not really, you know, anything
that like much anymore.
Yeah.
I think too, like, yeah, she said elemental beings. Okay. I think too, for me, when I first started, like once I got into, you know, actually like making a circle and calling forth, for one, I worked with a lot of elemental beings then too, whenever I would call the four corners and then I would call forth the elemental beings like to come help me. And one of those was like were the tree spirits of the land here, that's this type of thing. But anyway, I think when I first started, I was like, I jumped all over the place, trying to see what I was really drawn to, like what I really connected with. And I worked with all kinds of things and all kinds of stuff. Just you name it, I was dabbling here and there, trying to figure out.
Me too. Exactly. You got to find your niche, figure out what you're drawn to, what you're comfortable with, what you work well with. Yeah, I don't know.
The main thing I work with right now, like I said, tree spirits. I work with sifts. I work with fairies. I work with plant divas. You know about them plant divas.
Not surprising coming from you.
Yeah. I work with them all the time.
Starlight.
Yes, Starlight. Hey girl, hey.
Thanks for watching and tuning in. Yo, I don't know what's going on, but people keep popping in over here in my room like, hey. And I'm like, nope. This ain't that type of video. Like, we're not doing any kind of spirit talk or mediumship, or readings or anything. Like, stop bugging me.
My vibrations are really high.
Me too. My hands are hot as hell right now.
Yeah,
and
tonight.
I keep playing with shit. I do this every video. I wind up picking up a crystal that I have around on my table, and I just play with it the whole time. I don't know why I do it.
I do it too.
I fidget.
Do what?
I fidget. Always
Me
have.
too. I'm really bad about fidgeting.
And I'm like, my legs are going like this because I'm fidgeting. Like, you keep readjusting how you're sitting, and it just, you know what I mean?
I keep moving. I'm constantly. Ooh! Say something.
Me?
Yeah.
What?
Just keep talking. I don't know. Just talk.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks, everybody, for watching. What's going on? And the cat's in here. What's going on? You seeing something?
Over your shoulder, that mirror. I just seen a figure move. It looked like a man.
The window?
No, on the other side.
Over here.
To me, it's your right shoulder.
So this side?
Yeah, right there. Hold on, talk again.
This side. This side over here. Where I'm
shaking my arm. There's like a picture or there's a light or something right there.
Yeah, that's my ancestor altar. That's my grandmom and
okay. It was right above. It was right above it. Right above. Like it was right there. It went by. Right above there.
I'm feeling ancestors because I know, I've asked them to be here and watch me and just, if my lights and my energy's shining brighter and my energy's vibrations are higher, just, help my spirit guides out and protecting me and stuff. But what did he look like? Do you know or no?
It just looked like an older man. He had short-cut hair.
Right. Short-cut hair. Did he have a beard, glasses, anything? Damn, you're like deep over there.
Well, girl, I'm sweating now. So, okay, it looks like it was like an older man. He has short-cut hair. It has like, when you get receding hairlines.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like that, but on two sides right here.
Okay.
It like goes back on these two. This part right here goes back further.
Okay.
And it's like just a little 5 o'clock shadow, but not anything serious. It just looks like an old man.
I wonder.
He's got old clothes. I mean, like older, maybe like, I don't know, it looks like 30s or 40s, something like that era. Do you have somebody that passed away in that time?
Can you see this? Can you see this picture right now?
Yeah, I can see. Would he be older?
He was older when he passed. This is a younger picture of him, but
yeah,
shorter hair. You don't think that was him?
No, I think that was if he was gray, if he was gray headed, because see, his 5 o'clock shadow was like that, like a,
And
but it
he
wasn't
had,
like a full beard. It was just like a 5 o'clock shadow.
yeah,
But
and
he had,
he had a widow's peak like balding going on where it was receding.
yeah, but it looks
That's
like but he looks older. But let me see that picture.
yeah.
Can you see those clothes?
Yeah, well, it's an old suit, and he's got Marlboros in his pocket. You see?
Oh my God, yeah.
This is a younger picture of him. That's my man's dad. I knew it as soon as you said
there
man's
with you.
face. As soon as you said a man's face, I knew it was him.
He's there with you, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Look, so Sherry Bug said, do you all believe that if you are sick or injured, you are more vulnerable and need more protection?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you are, especially, I mean, if you're a witch, I think definitely that, because I mean, when you're sick, your vibrations are lower too.
Mm-hmm.
Things
Right.
can cling to you more, when you're sick. Your body's not functioning like it should. A lot of times when you're sick too, your aura is, can be affected. Right. Your chakras can be affected.
Then your light will shine dimmer and kind of be blinking in and out maybe, and just throwing things off. And then, things could be you could be more easily acceptable or more easily susceptible, to any kind of negativity, negative energy, negative entities, negative spirits, stuff like that. What's the matter? Something's going on in your room too now, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel over my shoulder.
Yeah, I when you turned, like, I swore, like, peripheral, because I was kind of like not fully looking at you, but I almost saw like something like was going on. I could feel it. That's so funny. I can't believe you saw his face.
Tonight.
Yeah, it's getting crowded. I get hot when like spirits are crowding in, or like even family members, whatever the case may be. Like, I start getting hot. Like, you see me, I keep moving my hair. I'm like,
I was wiping sweat.
I'm sweating in the creases. I'm sweating in the creases of my arms, so I keep like putting my arms out because I'm hot.
I you probably see me keep moving. I'm like rubbing my hands because my hands are sweating.
Me too. Yeah, they're like clammy and stuff. No witching when you were sick, because you can put that out there in your spells. Yeah, I mean, to a point, I can agree with Shelly saying that. No witching when you're sick, depending on how in depth you're witching.
Yeah, like what it is that you're doing.
Right. If you're really, really sick, like, no. Like, you can't even have the energy to really do anything, like barely getting out of bed kind of thing, or you're like just lounging on the couch. Like, I wouldn't do any kind of witchery then. Mm-hmm. But then just ask your spirit guides and God or goddess or whatever you work with to protect you some more while you're vulnerable. But if you're like if I have a cold or something, like, I'm still gonna, I take more precautions still, because a cold is affecting you and making you a little bit vulnerable. But like,
that's if I'm doing a working for somebody, somebody needs me to do a working for them, and I'm sick, then well, like you said, depending on what it is, like if it's a cold or sinuses or something, then I'm more than likely going to do it. Now, if it's a migraine, more than likely I won't, because I feel like that anything that goes on with my head affects, will affect it. But as far as just like, normal, just regular things, I will. Now, if I'm like super, super fatigued, where I just feel like really, really, really drained, I will try to do something first to like raise my vibrations and to increase my energy. I will eat food that will, raise my energy.
Right.
Raise your, vitality. I will normally do some kind of herbs, or something like that. But as far as like going all out there, but now one of a simple thing that I do, like if I'm sick and I feel like I need to do a spell work, and a lot of times, I mean, for myself, whenever I'm sick, but I'll use like the diffuser, or I'll get some of my incense that I've made, because I make an incense like if you're congested, like cold and flu and that kind of stuff, and then I make another kind of incense that will like open you up to,
Yeah.
you know, like sinus infections and that kind of stuff. And I will put my intent, you know, in them one more time before I light them. But that's like really easy, you know, that's like really easy. But yeah, if I'm real sick, you're right. Like I won't, because that energy can go, you know, it not only can you put that sickness, you know, that energy, but that energy might go haywire too. You know, it might not, wherever you're trying to direct it, it might not go that way.
Right, you're working could backfire and stuff like that, so you want to watch. So I'm not gonna be able to see any more comments because I was looking at them on the iPad, but of course the iPad wasn't really charged. So it's
that's okay, girl.
So how long have we been going at this, man? Ooh, like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Yeah. Let me read Starlight real quick, and then if you want to go, you know, we can. That's cool. So she said ginger root is a good internal catalyst for raising energy for the practitioner. What are your favorite herbs to use for raising inner strength? You are right, Starlight. Ginger root is really good. I also think for me, peppermint is amazing to take internally. Peppermint's good. I love cinnamon basil is another one that's really good.
Yep.
Yeah, and I do plain cinnamon because I use it as a driver or, you know, catalyst as well. Those are really good for me. Let's see, what else girl, it's always nettle is like my overall everything.
Yeah,
everything.
Nettle, that's your shit, girl.
I know. Like I couldn't function without nettle.
Yep. We could do a whole video on nettle.
And I like nettle soup. I like nettle tea. I like nettle pesto. Like everything nettle. I just love it.
Good. And I loved the Wytch's chillaxing brew, like loose tea you made that with the nettle and like the skull cap and all. That was so good.
It really is. I love so many herbs though. So she also said, what are your favorite herbs to use for raising internal strength? So for me, so for me personally, it depends on what it is that's going on in that situation. So if it's something to do with if I need like inner strength, maybe if I'm feeling not confident in myself, or maybe I've been working on recipes for my shop and I just can't get the formula right, and you know, I'm getting really aggravated, then I will turn to a herb like motherwort for like that inner strength. If I'm super stressed out, maybe I've been working nonstop and I just feel like, I don't know, like I don't have any time for myself, you know, like, or maybe I've just got 1,000 things to do and like I'm really stressed out, then for strength, then I would do something like probably Vana Tulsi, you know, or I would do like if it's nerves, you know, that's like got me down and depressed, and like I just feel like I can't, you know, like I'm not this strong, confident witch that I know I am. Then I would do like passion flower with skull cap, or you know, like that. It really just depends on what's going on as to what I find is my inner strength, you know.
I really like cinnamon for like resonates with me for a bunch of different things like protection and success, but also for strength and courage. For that too. So, and that's like I use cinnamon so much in like using to like kitchen witchery when you're like putting it in food or putting a sprinkle in my coffee and then enchanting my coffee in the morning, you know, and using it in all my different sachet bags, dream pillows, spell work. I use cinnamon so much, and I love it.
Yeah. Like for like a woman, just like a daily, just a like I'm a woman, hear me roar, you know. So I guess that would be like strength, you know, confidence, all of that too. My favorites for those would be like a blend of like oat straw, Of
Yeah.
course, nettle, like the
Yep.
raspberry leaf,
Okay.
Vana Tulsi, of course, and dandelion, because I feel
Yeah.
like dandelion is to me, because dandelion can cleanse your kidneys and your liver
Yeah.
and like your
Yep.
blood.
They're so
And
misunderstood.
huh?
I feel like dandelions are so misunderstood. Like,
Oh yes,
you
girl, they
know?
are. They are. People think dandelions are just little old weeds.
Mm-hmm. They're
That is
amazing.
medicine for the soul.
They're
Like
amazing.
it, yeah, dandelion is wonderful. I drink dandelion in the morning, and with my nettle, of course, but
Yeah.
for like a coffee substitute.
Yeah. I bet that feels so good. It makes your body feel so good too.
Yeah, I love dandelion. I also love burdock. Like I like to do I pickle burdock root and
Okay.
eat it, and it's so good.
Yum.
Burdock is so grounding to me. Like if I feel scatterbrained or just not like really grounded,
Yeah.
and girl, that burdock is amazing. But I do it like pickled, and
Mhm.
it's great to use like as a daily tonic too, like for
Okay.
a healthy gut,
That's
but it
cool.
just the taste of it is so grounding. Like
Yeah.
it's amazing. But I could talk about herbs for like a thousand
I know you could.
hours
I know
because
you could. And you know a lot more about herbs than I do. I mean, I'm into herbs, but like usually like the general basic stuff, like you're into like all of the herbs. Like give me
I just
all the
can't get
herbs.
enough.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I cannot get enough. Like I want to travel
Yeah.
the world and just go to all these different places and just find these plants. Like how amazing would that
Right.
be to just go sit and talk to these plants?
And wildcraft
That's
these
another
plants.
thing too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said it, about like what we feel is protection. Like I've said, I feel like nettle is very protective for
Hmm.
me. But maybe you don't like nettle. Maybe you feel
Right.
like nettle is dangerous, because it
Yeah.
has all those stinging hairs. Maybe you feel like
Hmm.
because those stinging hairs can make your skin inflamed and can make it burn like fire. Maybe you see that,
Right.
as like a threat to you or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
That's okay. Do
Right.
use whatever you are drawn to, like
Yeah.
how I talk about plants all the time. Sit down and like connect with it. Or maybe you don't like plants. Maybe that's your jam. I mean, not your
Yeah.
jam. We're going to have a talk if you don't. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
maybe it's crystals, or I don't know, hell, maybe it's books, or maybe you
Hmm.
like to paint, or I don't know what you like to
Yeah.
do,
Right.
but
Right.
but
Color
you
magic or
yeah, but you feel it yourself. Like you use your own intuition, and your energy, and you feel what's protective to you. You feel what's going to help you protect yourself or your family or your home or whatever it is, whatever type of protection it is, because what I protect my home with is not the same thing that I protect my car with, and it depends. Like if I'm traveling by airplane, maybe I have luggage. I'm not going to put the same thing that I use in my car just for a road trip,
right.
So,
Yeah.
but
And
that's
it makes
me.
perfect
That's
sense.
how I do things,
Right. You got to figure out what you want to do and what resonates with you and stuff.
Mhm.
What do you think if we open up the comments for questions? See if anybody has any questions about protection or questions in general, I guess. Because we've kind of been jumping all over the place tonight.
I know.
Things
Yeah, like this
happening.
show was on protection, but it was like all over the place.
Things been happening, and we got to talk about them because we noticed.
I know.
That's funny.
Let's see. So Starlight said that dandelion is so resilient. Yes, it is.
Yep.
Shelly said, I really enjoy all of you girls' videos. Thank you, Shelly.
Thank you.
She said weeds are amazing and lots of energy in weeds.
Yeah.
Yes. And this might be me. I don't know. But I feel like, so if you go and like connect with a plant, any kind of plant out in nature, or where it grows in its natural habitat, that energy, I feel like, is so strong. Like, I mean, it's stronger than anything. And I feel like you can really talk to that plant and like learn a lot from the plant when it grows in its, own habitat. But what am I doing talking about plants again?
Because you can't help it.
I can't. So y'all have any questions? Oh, I know, because Shelly said lots of energy and weeds. Yes, I had a whole little spiel, a story about that. But anyway, I'm not going to, because I said, I can talk
going off
all night about it. Yeah. So y'all have any questions, comments, stories you want to share?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
Oh, this neck.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Girl, I just need to put some more cayenne and CBD on it.
Your poor neck has been through some fucking shit, man.
I know. And then pulling these dreads out is, it's really killing my neck. This is as far as I
happy when it's over.
On this side?
Yeah. I was cracking mine earlier.
I wish I could crack mine. It don't crack, but that's as far as I can bend it over.
Yeah.
I can turn it a little bit, but oh, girl, it hurts.
Now, can you bend it over just only a tiny bit on both sides, like both ways?
Now I can. I mean, well, not right this minute, just because my dreads. Like this morning, I couldn't even move my neck. Whenever I got up, I tried to get up, and it was like my eyes was the only thing moving. It was so bad. But I used the cayenne and CBD on it, and I've been able to move it. Now, before this, just started from last night, yeah, I could look up, down, side to side now without any problem.
Right.
But I just can't right now because it's jacked up.
Your poor neck.
I know. I normally like it, because I drink so many herbs and I use so many oils and stuff that it really doesn't bother me unless, I do something that I know I'm not supposed to do. It bothers me, but my dreads are just getting heavier and heavier, and it's starting to bother me, so bad to where I have to take them out, and then taking them out kills my neck too. So it is what it is.
It's a process.
All right. So Shelly said, what astral oils do you use? Are you talking about like an essential oil, or like do we purchase an oil blend or something?
That's
just
definitely a question for you.
Okay. Well, Shelly, just tell me if you mean like if you're talking about essential oils or like an oil blend. And I will answer that, girl. Because I make all my oils. Like, I don't really buy any oils. I make all of them. My personal oils. Okay, so for me, so an astral oil that I make, like, or some of the essential oils that I use for astral travel would be like clary sage, blue chamomile, let's see, jasmine, sandalwood, is frankincense, and then I use herbs of like dittany of, is it Crete of Dittany, I believe is what it's called. Then I use damiana, wormwood, mugwort.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then a couple of other herbs, too, like lotus.
Nettle?
No, I don't do nettle. Oh, well, actually, for the oil, yes, I do, because I use nettle for protection. So, yeah,
I would hope you do, because that's
I do use nettle in the blend.
That's your favorite.
Yes. Okay. So she asked if I put it on my third eye. So yeah, whenever I'm gonna like astral travel, I have an astral incense that I make. So I light my incense, and then I put my oil on. So I do my third eye. I do the back of my neck. I put a dot on my nose so I can smell it, a lot. And then I normally do it on my pressure point. So I do on my wrist, And then I do on the back of my legs. And then I always do over my heart space too, because anything that I do to my heart space, that's like an automatic way I connect with my spirit guides. That's like how I call to my spirit guides and my spirit animals. So when I rub, my heart space, it's like I'm like a telephone, like I'm calling them.
Yeah.
Hey. So yeah, that's I put them on those. How do you use nettle without the rash? Are you just not allergic? No, after you harvest nettle and let it dry out, you're not going to have any problems with those needles. I mean, with the little hairs that are on there. Or you can, so like if you're going to make nettle soup, then you would have to boil them, and then strain the water several times to get all the hairs, off if you're going to eat them fresh. But I don't have any problem with that. Now, if you're going to go craft them yourself, outdoors, I would suggest using gloves or being very, very, very careful whenever you do it. But it doesn't really, I mean, it stings, but it doesn't like really do a rash. What it is, those hairs are so fine. It's like those little hairs stick into you, and there's a chemical in there that it almost mimics like inflammation, but it aggravates the skin and brings the blood to the surface.
Right.
But back in the old days when people had like arthritis or back pain or back injury or something, like that, they would whip themselves with the nettle. Because those little hairs would get in, wherever they were whipping themselves, and it stings at first, but it draws all that inflammation out and all that pain out. Yeah.
Well, it's probably sort of like how fiberglass bothers you. How them little pieces get into your pores or into your skin, and
Mm-hmm. And nettle's so good for you too. Like it's great for your fingernails, your hair, your skin, your lady bits. Yeah, like it's great stuff. Like I'm not kidding you. I have to cut my fingernails like every week because nettle makes my fingernails grow like crazy.
I got the cat's Buddha belly showing at me on the floor. He's like all sprawled out on his back with his belly out.
Oh my goodness.
When he lays back like that, you see like his fangs, so he looks like a vampire kitty.
That's how Tiger does. He smiles all the time. When he lays back, you can see, and he looks like he's ready to eat you alive. All right,
he's so cute.
I
said he's so cute.
He's so rotten. Sherbuck said, I get all red and itchy also. And that's just nettles does that stuff. Like it's going to sometimes, I mean, it'll feel like fire ants,
Yeah.
But she said she's super sensitive to poison ivy and such. Girl, me too. Let me tell you.
Me too.
You are too? I remember one time, like growing up, we went the summer that we were out of school, like every summer we were out, we would go camping like in a tent, and we would go to different campgrounds. So we might stay, 2 or 3 weeks at this campground and then go, and we did that for the summer. Well, we were young. Maybe I was in like 4th or 5th grade. So my little brother was in like 2nd or 3rd grade. So my mom and dad were like cooking, getting everything done. And I'm sure me and my sister were like being ugly to my little brother because that's what, that's what we did. So he was doing his own little thing off to the side. Well, I hear him he sings all the time. So he's like singing so loud, he's getting louder and louder and louder. And so I look over at him because I'm sure I was probably going to hit him or something. Right. And this little dude, girl, he is pretending like he is taking a shower. He is in poison. Oh. Just all rubbing it all over him, having him the best time, like doing under his arms, like he's bathing in this poison. Yes. So I'm like, oh my God, freaking out because he's, in this poison. And my mom's freaking out too. My little brother, no poison, none. He didn't get any. But girl, I had to go to the hospital.
Oh, that's horrible.
So ate up in that poison, and I did not touch it. I had it in between my fingers. It was
Oh,
in my lips. Like, it was so bad. It was in my ears. It was horrible.
that is horrible.
Yes, it was so. You know what? I was in fourth grade because I remember I didn't go to school. Forever I couldn't go to school. But I remember I begged my mama to let me go to school for picture day, because I
Right.
had just started doing my hair like on myself, by myself.
Mhm.
And
Right.
that Farrah Fawcett. This really
Yep.
tells my age, but you remember that Farrah Fawcett bang,
Yep.
and then like them swooped out sides.
Yep.
Girl, I had just started doing that myself, and I was so proud. And I remember having like these places all over my face, and my face was so big because I
Oh,
was so swollen. Like, anytime
that's
I get sick or
horrible.
something, my face swells. And oh my gosh, it was so hideous. But I learned then that I am so allergic to poison. I can just be in the vicinity and I'm
Yes.
gonna get
I'm not
up.
that allergic, but I mean, when I get it on me, I get it bad. Now, luckily, my man, he could touch it barehanded, have no problem whatsoever. It doesn't do nothing to him. Um, but like I've heard that you have like 10 minutes to wash it off before it like gets into your skin and gives you the rash or whatever. Like, but I don't know how true it is, and I ain't trying to test that out.
Well, you can even get poison, and there might not be any, like, say you can't see any poison ivy or like vines anywhere or anything. You
Mhm.
can't see it. But do you know that the roots can be under the ground? And do you know that you can still get it?
Yep, from touching the roots, or if you're digging or in the dirt with your
Yeah,
hand.
and
Yep.
and just say you don't even touch through, but you're just digging in that area. Like my mama, she planted some flowers and she got poison, and so that her husband like chopped it all down, got rid of it,
Right.
and she was gonna do a garden or something beside there, but
Yeah.
she scooted over. She wasn't in the same spot, and she was digging, and girl, she got ate up too, like so ate up with it.
That sucks. It's the worst.
Yeah.
I hate that. And you know what gets rid of it real quick though? Is swimming in a chlorine pool. It won't spread it to anyone else who swims in the pool, but that chlorine will soak right in there and dry it out, and within like 2-3 days it'll be gone.
Really? See,
Yes.
I've tried now, like if I get it, because, I'm always coming into contact with poison when I'm out wildcrafting
Yeah.
and stuff. But now the first little sign that I get, I put my salve on it, my
Yeah.
first aid salve.
Okay.
It's gone.
Gone.
Like I
That's
don't
good.
have no problem.
That's
Yeah,
good to know.
which I take it in my little bag when I go out crafting and stuff. I take
Right.
it with me. Let's see. Starlight said, she's feeling itchy just thinking about it.
I know. I keep scratching my face and shit.
So this is for you, Nightshade. Shelly says, have you ever seen Queen Hecate manifest in front of you?
Yes. And it was scary and amazing and beautiful all at the same time. Yes.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I've had to burn it a few times for an old. Okay, so Sherry's talking about poison. She said I had to burn it a few times for an old job. I had it everywhere. Had to get shots for it. Yeah, it's no joke.
Ugh. I don't even like thinking about it. Ugh. Because we live next to the woods and it's in there. It's there, and I'm just like, nope.
Well, you know what? I use poison ivy and oak in my practice.
Do you? I mean, I've never done it, but I could see why you would use it, but definitely get some gloves. Then throw them bitches in the trash, burn them gloves. Whatever clothes I think may have touched it, like, they go right into the washer, and then my ass goes right in the shower, like.
Yep, me
Wash
too.
everything off. Yeah.
Yeah, because it ain't no joke.
We get a lot of poison ivy and a lot of poison oak around here. I believe we have poison sumac too, but I've not seen it in person, like the poison sumac plant. I don't think it's
here for sure.
I can't say it's rare around here, but I've just never seen it personally, or I've seen it and didn't know what it was, but I haven't gotten it, thank God. But I mean, my woods are even like over behind the house here are like full of poison ivy, poison oak, and then there's so many. I mean, it's the wild roses, but we call them sticker bushes because you walk through and you're getting all them stickers in you, you know. We're
Heck
like, oh,
yeah.
the sticker bushes.
Are you or anybody else in this chat, are y'all getting cicadas or locusts? You know, I know we call cicadas locusts, but are y'all getting them
Yep.
right now?
Yep.
We are too. There are so many. I need to go hunting for their exoskeletons. Do you use those in your practice?
I don't, but I found quite a few in my yard. They like where I planted that new flower bed. I have canna lilies and elephant ear plants that are sprouting up and probably about this tall. And last week or the week before, when I spent like 2 hours weeding it all because I still haven't put mulch down, my foot's getting clawed right now by the cat. He's like messing with my foot. It tickles. Their bodies. I guess they like to hang out on my canna lilies, like the big leaves, and because they look real tropical, you know. I don't know, but they would like, I guess, sit on there and shed. So when I was like weeding and like turning over the dirt in there and stuff, I was finding them, and I just turned their little bodies into the dirt.
Yeah, I like using them. I need to get some more. I mean, I've got
They'd be good for transformation.
Yes, and release. I think. Oh, I love using them. Let's see. Shelly said yes. She said that there's poisonous mushrooms out there too. Yes, I love mushrooms. I use mushrooms a lot too. I love mushrooms. She said they hiss in the morning. Huh?
I said I love to eat mushrooms, but not the psychedelic kind. I know,
girl, I can't do much, and I want to eat mushrooms. I do. Now, mushrooms are very healthy too. You know, like shiitake, the lion's mushroom, and all these different ones. But so I dry them out and I grind them into a powder.
Yeah.
And then I put them in smoothies and in food. So I can't do mushrooms.
I know.
But I can dry them out and put them into a powder because they are so healthy for you.
The shiitake mushrooms are my absolute favorite. That like smoky, woody flavor they have. Oh, I love it. They're so good.
The hubby loves mushrooms too. And really, I have tried so many times to eat mushrooms because he absolutely loves them. And girl, I cannot do it. I cannot do it.
Yeah.
Woo.
I mean, I hear you. They have a funky, gooey texture, but they're so good. But at least you still eat them by drying them and making them into a powder. That's a start. That's a start.
Yep. I grind them into a powder and then I just keep it in the cabinet. I put it in my smoothies and my food. I much prefer them in my smoothies.
Yeah. That sounds good. I would do that. I would do it.
Let's see. Starlight says they're so loud, huge brood of them this year. Excuse me. She's talking about the cicadas or locusts.
Okay.
And then she says she don't like the texture of mushrooms either. But
okay.
Shelly says rubber, and Sherry Bug agrees with you. She loves mushrooms.
I love mushrooms. Just I don't do the psychedelic ones. Nope. Nope. I don't like it. Nope. I'm too chicken shit. Nope.
Well, I did when I was younger.
Yeah, I've never done it. I don't want to taste them because I know they taste like shit. Like, nope. I don't want to see shit and have to worry, is that real or not? Like, you know what I mean? And have everything all just screwed up. Nope.
Well, you could make. You could make like a Kool-Aid, like shrimp Kool-Aid, or you could make that.
I want to be in control, though. You know what I mean?
Chocolate shrooms.
I have to be in control, and if I'm not in control and seeing things that I can't control and it's just happening, I guess I'm a control freak in my own body and my own mind, you know?
Well, like, I don't know. I liked it. I like dancing out in the rain and stuff. Like, it was amazing.
Oh, wow. I bet it was. I bet it was, but see, I would do that without any kind of psychedelics or anything, and I would just do
me too. I love. We're talking about shrooms right now.
We're off on a tangent here.
You need some? Okay. Good night. Love you.
I have shrooms tattooed on me because I think they're cool. The whole concept of them, talking about, Alice in Wonderland. I read Alice Through the Looking Glass, and next thing I know, that I wanted shrooms tattooed on me. So that was my first tattoos I ever got. But then, they don't look as good as they did when I first got them. But that's a whole nother story.
I've always loved like mushrooms. I mean, not necessarily just psychedelic, but I mean, even as a kid, like I loved pictures of mushrooms and
they're just so cute.
necklaces of mushrooms.
Yeah.
And I think too, because I've always associated mushrooms with like fairies and stuff.
Yeah.
And so
it's
just
thing.
always been my thing.
It's the hippie in us, because I'm the same way. I remember, like, I'm aging myself here, but when like MySpace was like the shit before Facebook, it was where you could like do backgrounds on your page and stuff. And I used to have like skull and roses on my background, and then I had like my name spelled out in like my About Me section with little dancing shrooms and stuff. It was cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was cool.
That's cool.
And then you could
it's 11 my time. Do you want to get off of here? I know that we've been on here for
a while.
Quite some time now. I mean, I don't
2 hours.
Like the long chats, but
yeah,
I know we both got babies and stuff, so
yeah. And nobody else has any more questions?
Let's see.
Just before we wrap up,
the last one I see is put the shrooms in your coffee. Yeah, I don't drink coffee, Starlight, but I do drink herbal teas and like chai lattes. And yeah, I have put the shrooms, especially in chai lattes. I put
the powdered mushrooms that you make.
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
Yep. Man, my phone is frozen.
Some people like a little psilocybin in their life. Not me. Not me. I'm a chicken shit. Like I would never do acid either. Nope. I gotta be in control.
I did all kinds of crazy shit as a
teenager. A lot of people used to do salvia too, where you would like smoke like a hit of salvia or something. That was a big thing, like about 10 or 15 years ago. And like apparently you'd like smoke a hit of salvia and then you would trip for like 30 minutes, and it was supposed to be stronger than like DMT or something. I don't even know, but I wouldn't do that either. Nope.
All right, let's see. I had to shut my phone off and back on. Let me check one more time to see if we got any more questions, because my phone had froze. Let's see. Sharebug is just saying she's never used psychedelics, just some homemade mushroom soup with button mushrooms.
I love mushroom soup.
And then let's see. Sherry said, be careful what magic mushrooms you eat, or you will be Alice in Wonderland, Mad Hatters. No, Alice in Wonderful Land, Mad Hatters. All right, then Starlight says, speaking of psychedelics, have you ever tried salvia? Yeah, you were just talking about salvia.
Never tried it, though. I know people that have, but nope, won't do it.
And then, let's see. Sherrybug says, I can't do anything. My job requires drug screens.
Oh. Womp, womp.
Womp, womp, womp.
I mean, I could do stuff if I wanted to, but nah. I like control. I want to be in control of my mind and control of my body. I want, you know what I mean? I want to be in control of what I see or don't see.
I just love herbs.
Psychedelics. The whole concept is cool, and I'm sure in a past life, I know damn well that I was a hippie, groupie, whatever, back in the, the 60s and the 70s, and I probably did all that shit back then, but nope.
I
couldn't do it in this life.
I think I've always been a hippie, though, like always. I mean, I have pictures when I was little, too, that my clothes were so crazy. I mean, most everything was tie-dye and stuff, and my mom said I was always, like, I didn't want to dress like anybody. Like, I have my own little style, always. As a kid, like, I did my own thing, but everything was really hippie, tie-dye, boho.
Yes. Me too, girl.
Sherry said, plus, nobody wants a stoned EMT taking care of their Nana.
Yo. Right? I used to be an EMT, dude, for 4 years.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I was gonna say. Y'all ain't coming.
That's what fucked my back up. I was an EMT for 4 years. I was a firefighter for 7, almost 8 years. And I was still firefighting even after I injured my back. Shouldn't have been doing it. But it just got to a point where I can't risk jacking my shit up any more than it already was. So, but yeah, I used to do that shit. Nobody wants a stoned EMT. Yo, a lot of people around here smoke though. So I mean, whatever. I don't judge people. You want to do it? Go for it.
I say you can do whatever you like.
Exactly. Float your boat. Go for it.
Yep. As long as you ain't hurting me or my family, I don't give a damn.
Right? Exactly.
You know, I mean, I don't want you to hurt yourself either.
Right. Or hurt someone else. But yeah.
Yeah. So you can do whatever you want.
Yep.
All right, love.
Yeah,
I don't
let's get off of
any
here.
more questions.
Let's get off of here.
Nice. Huh?
I said, let's get off of here.
All right, y'all. Well, I guess we will see y'all again next week. And I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend. And until next time, I hope that you fly high, witches. Peace, homies!
Bye. Thanks for watching. Mwah. Many blessings.
It's a boo!